I'm Lisa, the love coach, and this is why you are drawn to the wrong people. Let's get into it. I'm going to give you all the reasons. You're going to feel validated. You're going to be like, I'm not insane. You see, there are reasons for this. If you think your picker is broken and you keep finding yourself in these relationships with toxic people, manipulators, or people who just are emotionally unavailable, they ghost you, they're not reliable, they're not consistent, this is the video for you. You are not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. There's a reason why you're here. You're looking for answers, and I'm going to give them to you. Okay, so let's dive in. First thing to be aware of is that we pick people who remind us of the adults who took care of us as kids. Okay, so when we have our first experiences with love, it's with our parents or caregivers. And so this is like the blueprint for all the relationships you're going to have in your life later, right? It's important that you understand this. So if your love was inconsistent as a kid, or you felt like you weren't good enough and you had to earn love, or you had to be quiet and make yourself small so that the grown-ups around you kind of led the charge and you didn't really have your needs met, then you will tend to gravitate towards people who might be unavailable for you. People who create a little bit of internal chaos for you even. Maybe people who minimize your needs, make you seem crazy for wanting what you want, right? But just know that inner child work does help with this. And this is exactly what I teach my clients. It's what I did for myself. Inner child work was magnificent in that it helps you to reconnect with your wounded inner child who wasn't loved the way they needed to be loved as a child, right? And now you get empowered to love them and reparent them and give them all of the guidance, the reassurance, the nurturing, the love, the care, the concern, the interest, the genuine interest that you needed as a kid. So you didn't have that as a kid, but now is your opportunity to create it for yourself as an adult, and that is what I teach you. Okay, so let's go into number 2. So a lot of people out there who find themselves almost addicted to the bad boy or the bad girl, they are responding to unpredictability, right? The way our brains are wired, we like hot and cold relationships because it's a dopamine hit. When they're cold and then they come back to you, boom, hit of dopamine, right? So you like that roller coaster because A, it is possibly what you witnessed and felt as a kid. And now B, the roller coaster itself gives you dopamine hits. So this is why we want to have a steady, consistent relationship. We want continuous, steady, chill. Even though this might seem highs and lows and highs and lows, you could get very addicted to that because it is a form of dopamine addiction. So a lot of the times when I'm helping people to heal after these types of relationships where they attract the bad boy, they're totally trauma bonded in many cases. One of the things that you have to detox from is dopamine addiction, and I help people to do that. So at any point, if you're interested in connecting with me, you can head on over to LoveQuestCoaching.com. There's all descriptions in the link, and the link is in the description below, and you could get your free LoveLife assessment. But let's keep it moving. I'll repeat more about that later. So familiarity, this is reason number 3. What is familiar seems safe. So we kind of go with what we know, right? And it's even if it's hurtful. So dysfunctional love might feel like safe and home and used to it because it's a mirror of your past emotional environments. So if you've always had relationships that are trauma bonds and that are never end well and it's always drama, then this is your baseline. This is what you're used to. But I'm here to tell you that there is another version of you running the show when it comes to relationships, right? So there's ideal you, the ideal version of you, the true you, authentic you, all these things that you'll hear out there. This is the version of you looking for this information online. This is the version of you who wants general well-being for yourself and you want to thrive in life. The problem is there are these other versions of you over here that you get to reconnect with and heal. This is the healing process. pretty much. It's you realizing that you want a certain kind of life and a certain type of person, and that these versions of you are interfering with that. And so when you come home to them, when you connect with them, and there is a method that I help you to do, I did it myself, so I just share what I did and coach you through the process, then you no longer attract people who aren't for you. You attract people who are for your true you, and not the people who are predatory, trying to pick on the versions over here that are wounded, if this makes sense, right? So this is very important work that you are going to embark on. And I truly hope that you take the effort and initiative to get the free Love Life assessment. This thing is awesome. You can get that at LoveQuestCoaching.com, which is my website, and the link is in the description. Let's keep it moving. Number 4 reason. The chase illusion. It's an illusion of chasing, making effort for mistaking effort for worth. Just because you are investing time in getting someone doesn't necessarily mean that they are the right person, that they're valuable, that they are for you, right? You might be like super attracted to this person, but they're not the right person for you, right? It's not really about that. It's like you're trying to prove your worthiness to them so that you get their favor, that you get their approval. This is a telltale sign that you have inner child work to do, and that you will certainly benefit from it. The next one is number 5 reason you're attracting shit show after shit show is because it's a subconscious self-punishment. It's you don't think you deserve more. You don't think that you deserve the kind of love that you truly desire. And so you have maybe internalized shame or guilt from your past, things that you haven't sorted out with yourself and forgave in yourself. You will attract people who confirm the beliefs that you have for yourself. So if you don't think that you are enough, then you will attract people who affirm that belief. And then you'll be in this spiral cycle of, I don't feel enough, and this person shows me I'm not enough, and I still don't feel like I'm enough. And it's just this whole cycle. And you want to break that pattern. You want to get yourself right with yourself and be self-loving, self-nourishing, know how to handle boundaries, know how to have your standards intact, so that then you can emerge strong and you can be very attractive to the right types of people. So the 6th reason is the narcissist empath loop, right? This is a loop. The narcissist, I'm going to show you a little example. Narcissist is here. Empath, codependent, is here. They hang out together on the same dysfunctional magic marker. So this is a loop that happens. And unless you do the inner child healing and you start learning how to love yourself, you will continue to attract these psychopaths. And they're psychopaths. Truly. They're predatory. They're awful. So empaths crave connection. And narcissists, they get off on control. Imagine that dynamic. So here's the empath. Please connect with me. And then the narcissist is like, I will control you. You will do what I say. And the empath gives, and gives, and gives. And the narcissist takes. And it's just this terrible dysfunctional process of 2 highly wounded people mixing it up with each other. Now, no shade thrown on empath. I'm empath. However, with the inner work that I can teach you, again, it's like cheat sheet in college. Like I took the test, I did it, and I'm going to give you the what's on the test. But better than that, I'm going to actually give you the answers. So what I do for you in this capacity is I walk you through this reconnection process so that you no longer attract narcissists anymore. You reconnect with yourself. You start learning how to give yourself the things that you're giving to these people who don't appreciate you. And then you become an empowered empath. So the empowered empath is the goal. The empowered empath is a badass because it has all the superpowers of empath, right? A great read of people, a great way of getting people to disclose what makes them tick, right? Empaths are very proficient in getting people to open up to them because we're empathic. We're like, no, I want to know. We have a sincerity about us, right? However, when you do not have the self-love, the boundaries, the standards, all the things that make you a badass empath, you're not going to be a badass empath. You're going to just be a doormat. And these narcissists are predatory. They know the difference between an empowered empath and an empath who they just use and crumple up like a used Post-it note and throw away. The discard of these people, heartbreaking, awful, wrenching. I've been there. I know it. I get it, right? But this is a different way for you. You're on a different path. The fact that you're watching this video and you're still in it with me and you're vibing with this content, this shows you, it's a sign that you're ready for this work. So if you want to go and get your free Love Life assessment, totally thumbs up. Gotta go do it. It's going to be such a source of clarity for you. Right now you're like, I don't know what's going on. I keep attracting these losers. So this will give you an opportunity to connect with me through a form. You fill out form. I read form, not AI bot, me. And then I come back to you via email with a full report. And this is super helpful because it'll give you that first step of clarity of exactly what you need to do and what you need to focus on so that you no longer attract these manipulative, just game players, right? And that you keep finding yourself in this give, and then them taking and taking and taking, and it's like making you so consumed, and it takes forever to break up with someone, and then you're like, oh, you're all in your head, right? We want to get you out of that loop. Number 7, this is kind of connected. Empaths do this all the time. Savior complex syndrome, right? Falling for people who are broken. You like people projects. Empaths often like this. They like the little stray puppy that needs to be bathed and nursed back to health. So if you believe that your value comes from fixing others, then you are going to fall for people who are damaged, right? Even when you say, I don't want any more broken people, I don't want any more broken people. Think about who was broken in your life as a child. If you saw your mom over giving to your dad, or, your dad was an alcoholic, or out away at work and you never really had a relationship with them, and whatever was missing, that's the source for all of this anguish and pain and recurring situations in your life, right? You got to get to the root cause, and that's what I help people to do. And when you do it, and it's in a very powerful way, right? A lot of people don't want to confront stuff, but I make it super efficient, effective, and fun. Then it's more of like a rescue operation. Like you're going back in time to revisit yourself at 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, all of that. And you're showing up for them in a way that they've never felt before. And it's very fulfilling. It fills you up from the inside. There's a lot of people who are empathic. They feel super empty inside. And they're looking outside of themselves to be filled up by other people. This is where the codependency aspect comes in. But when you are a badass, empowered empath, then you can be in a healthy, happy relationship. And there's a give and take. You are giving and receiving. You learn how to receive. So number 8, the oxytocin trap. When you get physical with somebody and it's through sex and it releases oxytocin, and that is a connection bond. It's an intensity between the bond that you have. And your mind might be like, the relationship is toxic. This is not my person. This guy is a disaster. This woman is a disaster. Whatever, right? But your body is like craving them. No different than when an alcoholic is like, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm done. But then they start getting jitters, or they feel like weird, and they feel off, right? Because they're cold turkey ending and their body still craves the substance. So similar in your brain, you can become addicted to people, and it's oxytocin that's released. You have sex with somebody toxic, oxytoxic is what I like to call it. So this is why boundary work is so important. So you give enough time so that a person shows you more about who they are and you're not just getting into bed with them because you're so attracted and the chemistry is so great and you're feeling so admired and affirmed and validated and love bombed and all of the things, right? You're taking a step back, you're leaning back, you're like, you know what, I want to see consistency over time. And if the person is narcissistic or manipulative, they don't like those words. I like to see consistency over time, so I'm not sleeping with anyone until I'm in love with them. Forget it. Forget it. That is the best way to weed people out. These people who are predatory, they'll hit the bricks. They'll hit the road quick. But the good people, the people who are going to prioritize you, the people who are going to be genuinely interested in how to please you, what your needs are, those are the people who are looking for someone to say, I want to take this really slow. I want to fall in love. I want to get married. I want to, whatever your thing is, right? Get very clear on the purpose for why it is you're dating, right? What kind of life do you want? And communicate that efficiently and effectively. And I help people do exactly that. So if any of this is ringing your bell and you're like, oh my God, this is me to a T. I always attract the wrong people. I have no idea how to act. I have no idea how to advocate for myself, how to say and express what it is that I need. Then we need to hang out. We need to get together. We need to get very clear about what exactly is going on, because there is a good reason for all of this. You are not crazy. Again, I repeat. And despite what these Looney Toonies are telling you, yes, there are things for you to work out, but you are not crazy. Your experience happened. These relationships are happening. You keep seeing yourself in this pattern, and good for you for taking responsibility and saying, you know what? I think I might be the problem. There might be some things that I don't know, some things that I'm doing that is attracting more of what I don't want. Right? So let's get that handled. I'm Lisa, the Love Coach. You can head on over to LoveQuestCoaching.com right now. Link is also in the description, as well as my social media. So you can find me all over the socials and we can connect again. I'm so grateful that you found my video. I hope this helped you so much. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and hit the bell notification so when these videos go live and the party starts, you get invited, you get the ding, ding, ding on your phone, and you get the notification that a new video was posted. Thank you so much again, and I hope to help you out soon.